Hello and welcome back to SpriteGuard Plays HyperRogue Orb Strategy Mode. We are continuing on a very long adventure, and we have a skeleton after us, which is a problem. I don't think it's a big problem. They do get stunned for longer in the crossroads. There we go. I was worried that we had to stand on that trapdoor in order to push him in, but that actually worked out just fine. So what is our next step? I am not even sure. I don't really remember what we said last time. You know, we can poke our heads in here, but already we have a fire fairy after us. And so, you know, we're going to have to be really, really careful here. I do want to get that Orb of Thorns, because it's such a valuable orb, and, you know, this is one of the lands that we are closest to. Let's see, 31. We have 33. We only have 33 Phoenix Feathers? I thought for sure that was one of the first ones we would get 50 in. So that's actually some low-hanging fruit for us. Oh dear. So we're just going to lead fairies out of the forest as much as we can. We're going to chop down trees to try and slow down any fires that do get started. Probably need to deal with this ivy. Just cut it back a little bit. It'll continue to cause problems, but not major ones. So we need to get quite far from the crossroads for these treasures to spawn. And it looks like we're going to run into several fairies along the way. So we just need to, you know, deal with them carefully, really patiently. You know, just like fighting dragons, we just have to really be okay with the fact that we're going to have to do this very slowly and with a lot of kind of back and forth. And possibly some restarting. You know, we don't know if we're actually going to get any of the treasures that we're chasing after. And so we just have to be, you know, ready for that. Let's see if we can kill this without spawning too much else that's going to cause us trouble. And head back in here. So we're pretty close to a couple of them. Let's see if we can grab these two. And it looks like we can get this way. I'm a little bit nervous that this path is not wide enough. So I want to make that a little bit wider. And now we have another fire fairy after us. And so we're just going to head right back to the crossroads. Not even worried. Let's check our inventory, see if we have any yet. We do not. Next one, 27 to 51. So by the time we get 50, we should have it, and hopefully we won't be forced to use it. So here we have another one, and we can just break our way in. Oh, and here's another fire fairy. I did not spot that as early as would have been nice. So we have it tailing us, which is a little more difficult than if it is a little ways behind us. Because it restricts our motion less. That was a bad idea. I do not know what I was thinking there. Looks like we cannot... Oh, hey! Alright. So I found a way out of that situation. Pretty pleased with that. Now, restricted motion actually reminds me of something that I've kind of wanted to talk about. And I tried to talk about in a classic video that then I was like really inarticulate about it, and ended up like having an unusable episode. And so I wanted to kind of try and talk about it again and see if I can do a little bit better this time. Basically, you know, I had that fire fairy kind of right behind me, and that really restricted my movement. And that is actually the situation that I kind of find myself the least happy about in this game. And though that kind of relates to the lands that I find the least enjoyable are the ones where you are extremely limited in your mobility. And what I tried to talk about and didn't do a very good job at is kind of the whole idea of adapting your perception. And basically what I mean by that is, this is a good game, and I don't think that this is a game that I feel like, as I like this game so much that I want to, you know, leave open the likelihood, I would say, that these are not bad lands. They're just lands that I don't particularly enjoy, because everything else in this game is so enjoyable that I have this sort of approach to taste that I have developed over my life, which I am turning 32 as I record this. So happy birthday to me. But basically, one of the ways that I relate to kind of taste and things like taste is everything has a reason for existing. And that's kind of my first axiom. Now, we do need to be careful here. We do need to watch out for our line of escape, and really keep an eye out for, let's see, 58. Why did I think that said 38? Or like 35? I must have been like holding my mouse someplace odd. Alright, so yeah, we did get 50 treasures here. And we do not want to be hanging out there. That's what I remembered, but then I like completely misread that. And I don't know how. So we have 35 fern flowers, 50 statues, 47 shards, which we did have a lot of trouble. And now we're in the hive, which is, you know, where we got lost last time. And so this could end up being quite frustrating. But hopefully we find our way out of here before too long. Actually, now that I think of it, I think we didn't get that lost. We got very lost in the dragon chasms. And that was really frustrating. I wonder if we, like, kite some hyperbugs in here? If that will help us out at all? But the treasures are so far from... Oh no. So let's see. I'm going to open up my inventory and get an Orb of Life. We can see if that is at all helpful. I'm not liking this situation. And our golem is already gone, and we can't get out of this situation, so we need to use something that will get us out of here and back into that hive. And unfortunately, I've lost... I was in a situation where Orb of Ether... Oh, we don't have an Orb of Ether, so that's fine. So... let's go here. This will put us into a game over situation, but we can use the mirror. And let's see, uses to gain... let's see, already mirrored. Uses to gain 3. That's really valuable. Already mirrored. Gain 3, gain 3, already mirrored. Gain 4, gain 9. So, let's see, I think that the Orb of Shielding, mirroring that, really valuable. And then we can use that, and that should get us out of this situation. In not too long. There we go. Now we could try and rush treasures, but I don't like the odds there. Because you can see the spawn rate is so high that I really don't know how to deal with this. And so I'm going to need to come up with better strategies if I'm going to do that. I can't just keep going in and not being ready. I think Orb of Thorns is really the thing we need. And we don't have that. And it's not clear that we can get that, and so, you know, this is Orb Strategy mode. This is a mode where I may have made a strategic error that is going to eventually kind of doom this run, because it's really constricting our options. So there we go, we've made it to a crossroads. I think this is a little bit of a shorter episode than I've been doing, but since we have Orbs of Safety, the reason I'd been doing longer episodes was because I thought that our Orbs of Safety were really restricted, and they're not. We can get one in the crossroads anytime. I mean, this mode does lend itself to longer episodes, but today I actually have a lot that I need to get done before I go to my birthday dinner, and so I think we're going to wrap it up here. We didn't get a huge amount done, but we got some fern flowers, and we got in some trouble. So, yeah, I don't actually know if I finished talking about kind of how it's axiomatic to me that things exist for a reason and that people like things for a reason. And so, you know, that Zeno thought these lands were a good thing means to me that there's something that I'm not seeing. And so I want to see that. And I don't know if it's going to be this run where we try and look for that. That seems like a good thing to do. I do want to get back to Classic. I've just been kind of overwhelmed with other things. And I know that this channel I've kind of been neglecting. Still really don't want to be doing that. I'm working on some, like, big projects that are not going to be done anytime soon, but are eating up a lot of the time that I dedicate to this channel. You know, it is being eaten up by things that are not actually ready to put up on this channel. And so that's what's going on there. I'm thinking about getting some more games in the meantime, but that's all very dependent on time and work ethic. And so, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it off, and until next time, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.